This movie registered with me on a deeply uncomfortable and personal level I was not prepared for. So let's begin. It's healthcare month here at Allison Miller's Low Budget Reviews. I will be reviewing 4 films that take place in either mental or medical hospitals, and I will be talking about what was good about them and what was bad. Let's get right to it with the first movie, Sublime. Now, Sublime, starring Tom Cavanaugh, is about a man named George Reeves who, the day after his 40th birthday, he goes in for a routine colonoscopy. Now, you feel sorry for George almost instantly because he's talking about all his friends at his birthday party, and his kids know his procedure, and it's a main conversation for the full night. And it flips back and forth between George's struggles with this hospital of horrors and his life before, the conversation that happened that night with him, his lawyer friend's wife, his 2 kids, his wife, and his brother. And his brother was uninvited and crashed the party, and he was uninvited because Tom, it's said over and over again, but I'm going to put it in my words, is a common white guy. I'm a common white girl, so I know what common white means. But George goes in and shit goes wrong. Instead of George getting the procedure he was supposed to get, they cut a little incision in his side, and shit is just literal hell from then on. There's this big, scary black guy that likes to torture him, and there's a really nice nurse named Zoe that likes to take care of him. He asks Zoe to take him over to the east side, and this is where the best scene comes in, and Zoe does. Over on the east side, he finds his wife having sex with a doctor who was supposed to do his procedure, and this is where all the stuff hits the fan. He finds out a man named Jorge Greaves came in. There was a mix-up. Jorge got the colonoscopy. He got the incision thing that makes you not have sweaty palms anymore. Like, really. So George got the procedure. And that's when the best line and the best scene comes in. He's fighting with the people. He's trying to show, hey, I want out of here. But it's a struggle. An endless, painful struggle. So he says, oh, what did you find out that he was still full of shit? Now, like I said, you feel sorry for George from the very beginning, because on his birthday, he can't eat cake, he can't do anything, but drink that nasty juice they give you that helps you go. His legs becomes very necrotic and gross because the nurse at the beginning, when she put him in the wheelchair, cut his leg, and then from this tiny little cut, it just went nasty. And his nurse, Zoe, he didn't get her in trouble for her taking him over to the east side. He took all the blame for it, for taking him over to the east side, for everything, stealing a file, and all the confusion. So Zoe decides to reward him. Yep, Zoe gets on the reverse flash and does the reverse cowgirl. And she has a wicked tattoo of a tree on her back. But weirder and weirder. The big scary black guy named Mandingo is running around killing people. And anytime he tries to bring up, hey, this guy's kind of scary and you should do something about him, people are like, are you racist? And he can't win. He can't get out of the situation he's in. He can't get free. He says goodbye in this dreamlike sequence, dreamlike world he's in, because he's really in a coma, to his family, and he makes peace with all his stuff. It's flashing back and forth from the horror of hospitals, like I said, to his last birthday party. Now, we're going to get to the themes in this movie. Number one theme that they put in there, not like a beat you over the head type of style, but like the constant nagging ache of feeling like your life is never going to mean anything, and your existential dread you feel in your heart that's just numb and a dull ache. That's a lot, that persistent nagging sensation is about how they put in the betrayal. They started out at the party with taking a Last Supper themed birthday picture, and they gave him a knife holder in the shape of a man. So he knows from the beginning that his wife is going to betray him and that she's going to leave. His brother can see it, the kids can see it, everyone can see it, and he can see it, but he doesn't want to see it. So there's that. And I think everybody has felt betrayal in one way or another. And it really, this is the worst scene, but not because it's poorly acted or anything, but because you want to reach through the screen and punch her, but you know that wouldn't actually hit her and she's not real and you need to calm down. But she says, after it's said he's in a coma and there's little to no chance, and he's in there in his mind being tortured, he's lost a leg, his fingers right here are being cut, his toes on his last thing are being cut, he's just being tortured, and his nurse who took care of him has been chopped to pieces as well. So, she says she's going to keep him alive as long as she's alive, if she has to. And she said she was going to leave, but now since he's in a coma, it just doesn't feel right. I'm okay. But that's a good thing, because you know what? I haven't had a movie that I actually thought, wow, that messed me up. I don't think I'm gonna be okay now. Well, since An American Crime, but no. Don't watch that. And then there's, of course, the theme that I was talking about, the nagging, aching sensation of existential waste, that your life has meant nothing. This guy's brother goes off and does stuff here and there. He volunteers to save kids in impoverished countries. He goes to places like Africa and India. He brings back these exotic gifts and he gives it to his brother. And yeah, in the end, it flashes back to the beginning where George is having this weird dream where he's falling, and in the background it looks like some sort of Bob Ross painting, and I thought, no, I did not pay no $9 for this film for it to be that coloring. I'm gonna refund because it's garbage, but no, it ended up being just fine. And you know I love color. Anyway, they say when you fall in your dreams, you die in real life. There he is, bleeding out, missing a leg. He takes the feeding tube out. He hobbles on his one leg, uses an IV stand, breaks the window, and ends it, taking back the control he had over his life. And that's another thing. No control over your life. And I recommend it. I am giving it 5 stars. I'm going to reappropriate the 5th star from actually scared me, because most of the time that's like jump scared or have me going ooh, or something like that, to deeply unnerved me. It was deeply unnerving. It was deeply unnerving with its themes of betrayal, existential dread, feeling like you're one of millions instead of one in a million, and all that stuff. And it was deeply unnerving with the man taking the garden shears to his fingers, and the necrotic leg, and the hospital of horrors on the east side, and the weird tree, because Zoe had a tree on her back and Mandingo had a tree on his chest, and when he sat on George Greaves's chest and tortured him, and he could be symbolizing of all of the shit you ever go through in your life. All of the shit weighing down on you like you'd never ever believe. And I know I may be sounding like I'm putting my personal problems upon a film, but that's not what movies are for you to just, you know, say, oh hey, here's my interpretation of that, and yeah. So, deeply unnerved me. You got your participation star, you deeply unnerved me. Good script, good acting, and a mostly original idea. It is similar to other films like Autopsy and Soul Survivors, but I would rate this one higher than Soul Survivors. I'll see you in the next video next week. I hope you like my new background. I readjusted everything. I thought this would be more fitting for horror movie things. These two pictures right here are cover art that my friend drew, that I actually used, that I have books on the Kindle. They are The Silence Maker, Nickel, and Desolation. And she also drew this man and this woman over here. I bought that off of Pinterest. I got a killer calendar that's got a quote from H.H. Holmes on it. And this little guy in the middle is Vincent Price. So I wanted to create some new background because the other one was very colorful and really good. And I just threw that 4-panel thing up anyway, just because I thought it looked neat. But horror is what we're going for. So I thought I'd come here with this dark stuff and put all that up. And that boat is not part of it. So yeah, probably just do that from now on. Then you see dirty laundry. There you go.